in agriculture, trade, and warfare, and paving the way for advancement in mechanical engineering. So, before the wheel, life was incredibly labor intensive and limited in terms of mobility. So, people had to rely on manual labor, animals, or primitive sleds to move goods and themselves, making trade, travel, and daily life extremely challenging. With the introduction of the wheel in the Bronze era, society underwent a significant transformation. So the wheel enabled efficient transportation of goods and people, facilitating trade and cultural exchange. So it also allowed for the development of more complex societies with cities and empires emerging as a result. So in modern times, the wheel continues to shape society, driving economic growth, urbanization, and globalization. So it has enabled the rapid transportation of goods, services, and people, connecting the world and the fostering cultural exchange. So the wheel's impact has been profound, making life easier, faster, and more interconnected.
Okay,
That's all.
very good. Very good, Bierna. I will give you a perfect score on that. So nabanggit ni Bierna, she already stated the importance of will. So even though this is a basic, this is one of the greatest invention in the period of prehistoric, okay? Or actually it's in the ancient period because this is already in the Sumerian, okay? The Mesopotamian civilization. So nabanggit po kanina ni o Vienna, unlike to my other classes. Because my other classes said that ang lagi nilang pinipresent is the chariot, the cart itself, okay? Actually, it's not the cart that is the greatest invention, it's the wheel. I always pointed that out to my other students previously and kanina, okay? May buwanggit nito kanina that the chariot, it's not the cart that is important, it is the wheel po, okay? Because without discovering the wheel, nabanggit ni Obierna that the empire and the civilization will not spread out without this, okay? Because alam niyo naman, the human has a limitation. They cannot travel or they cannot walk too long, they cannot carry too heavy, okay? So they just stay in one place. Okay? So nung yung mga summer or the Sumerian started the agriculture, normally they just concentrated in one place because they cannot carry mud, they cannot carry bricks to very far places. So nagkumpul-kumpul po or there is just a bunch of houses together because of the limitation on how to travel these goods, the bricks, and so on to other places. And when the wheel was invented, the empire spread. Okay? Doon po lumawak na yung empire from the summer, nagkaroon po na ng ibang tribes around it. So this is why wheel is very important, not only for transportation, but also for causing or spreading the civilization. So after the summer, nagkaroon na po ng Babylonian civilization or the tribe and then napakadami may Byzantine and so on. So napakadami na pong tribe na um, nag-spread because of the easier transportation at that time. Okay? So, thank you for that, Obiana. Very good. So, sa pool ni Obiana agad yung, actually, pag may isang invention, ang hinahanap ko dun sa social impact is how it helps the society, how it spread the societal, how it affects the society. It's either ba sa goods, sa health, sa transportation, or dito sa wheel is more on the discovery or the spread of the civilization. Yun. Hindi po siya transportation lang ha. Ang pinaka-effect po nito is spread of the civilization at that period. Very good. So let's go to, okay, let me share naman. Doon tayo sa susunod. Magsabi lang yung dalawa ha, to Torre and Flores if your outputs is okay. So ang aanuhin ko muna is itong ating Tatlo, Flores Puis. So, si Princess, naku, nasa na si Princess kaya dito? Nasa na kaya itong banda? Okay, wait lang po ha. Na-download na kaya to. Let's start with tab. Teka, tumalang. Flores Princess, okay? Tama. Okay, kay Flores Princess to. Okay, so medyo mabagal yung ating pag-download ng ating output. Okay, Flores. Okay, where's Flores? Flores, are you there? Wala.
Ma'am,
Flores
am I
Princess?
audible po?
Ayan, that one. So, are you using
Okay.
mic again?
Yes
You
po.
have, kailangan mo i-remove para kang
Ay,
ano, ngongo. You have to
wait lang po.
remove. As much as
Um,
possible, please remove yung inyong mga earphone.
Hello po,
Kasi,
ma'am. Am I audible?
ayun,
Okay.
much clearer. Mas maliwanag po pag dun sa gadget mismo. Okay, you can start,
Okay po.
Princess.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'll be presenting about one of the most important technological advances during the prehistoric Bronze Age, which is yung irrigation system po. Now, according to history.com po, the Bronze Age, which naglast po siya from 3300s to 1200s BC, it was a period of great innovation po. Then, people began using bronze tools and weapons, which were comparable, stronger naman po siya than stone. But aside from bronze, another innovation po that changed or transformed the societies was the development of irrigation systems.
Mm-mm.
Now, let's focus po on Mesopotamia first, where one of the earliest civilizations thrived, which were the Sumerians po. Interestingly po, the Sumerians referred to themselves as the Sagiga, meaning the black-headed ones, and they were among the first to master bronze. Pero um, we will emphasize po today the importance po ng mga ginawa nila for agriculture, which they pioneered the use of levees and canals to control river water. Um, Nung panahon po kasi ng Bronze Age, malaki yung problem po nila kasi hindi po regular yung tubig. Minsan, sobra sa baha na galing sa ilog na nakakasira din po sa mga tanim nila, which yun po yung nagpo-produce po sa kanila ng food. And minsan naman po sobrang tagtuyot kaya wala rin pong panubig sa bukid. And habang nag-grow po yung population nila, hindi na po sapat tubig nila hindi na po sapat yung pagha-hunt nila and pagga-gather nila kasi yung population nga po nag-i-increase and kailangan po nila ng stable food supply, which challenged them to force thinking of a solution which um, result to the creation of irrigation systems. By building levees and canals nga po, nakokontrol na po nila yung river water to store it and distribute it to other fields when kailangan po nila. Now, irrigation was not just about farming. It shaped their entire way of life. Specifically po, during prehistoric Bronze Age. Now, with stable food supply, people could settle in permanent communities instead po na naghahanap po sila kung saan-saan or palipat-lipat po sila. This led to the rise of cities or organized governments and trade networks. Food produces increased the allowed I mean produces the allowed specialization of labor po. Marami pong naging craftsmen, traders, or priests na naglay po ng foundation para sa mga complex societies. It also influenced culture and religion po. For example po, yung rivers and water were often linked to gods, and managing irrigation became tied to temple authority and leadership. At the same time po, irrigation created challenges such as soil salinization and disputes over water rights, which sometimes nakakaapekto po siya sa stability ng civilizations. Now, To sum up po my presentation, irrigation during the Bronze Age was more than just a farming technique for me po. I believe po kasi na it was a revolutionary system that allowed early societies like the Sumerians to grow, organize, and advance in both technology and culture. Without it, the great civilizations of Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus Valley may not have thrived the way they did, which naka-help din po siya sa society natin nowadays. Yun lang po.
Okay, thank you, Flores. Yun nga lang dito sa activity mo, you didn't I specify in the instruction that you have to tell me what is the life before of the society before that technology. So, hindi mo siya dito nabanggit in the societal impact. So, can you tell me what is the life of our society before, especially the early Sumerian, before na invent po nila ang system of irrigation?
If you were able to naintindihan niyo po maigi yung presentation ko po, nabanggit ko
Mm-mm.
po siya, pero let me repeat it na lang po. Nagkaroon po kasi ng malaking problem po during Bronze Age, especially sa Sumerians po. Kasi hindi po regular yung supply ng water nila. Minsan po sobra
Uh,
yung flood
Flores,
po.
remember, early civilization started with the river. Anong river po ang for the early Sumerian, ang mga civilization po started with the Sumerian, then Egyptian, then the China, then the India. All of them are near to the river. That's why the civilization start with the agriculture. So dito kasi nag-focus ka ng irrigation. So there is already a source of water that time. So what is the life before of the people without the irrigation? If this is your focus, meron na po silang source of water, which is they are beside the river. So anong river po ang malapit sa Mesopotamia? Because this is
Tigris
your
and Tigris and Euphrates po.
Yes, so Tigris and Euphrates. For the Egyptian, it's the Nile River. For the China, it's the Yellow River. For the India or the Southeast, that is the Indus River. So all of this, they already have a source of water. So what is the life of the society before this irrigation? Mm. What is the life before?
Yung their life before irrigation po, nagsa-struggle po kasi sila for farming po. Since nagde-depend lang po sila sa natural flooding ng Tigris and Euphrates rivers po.
And
Kaya
then,
tas
maliban sa
kaya
flooding, kasi high tide, low tide lang po yun. What is the method of the people before? Very basic. Before irrigation, what is their method, Flores? Again na class, agriculture is one of the key steps kaya po nagkaroon ng civilization because they now have the constant source of food. Pero you have to tell me, Flores, what is the life of the society before when they're starting to do agriculture without irrigation?
without
So,
irrigation po,
maliban sa maliban sa they just depend in flooding. Kasi very rare po yun. Nangyayari that time. What?
before po yung creation po ng irrigation system, meron po silang iba't ibang ways or basic farming methods po na pinagre-relyan, which is yung
Mm-mm.
yun nga po yung natural floods from the rivers near them and dry farming po. Tas kapag minsan po naglilipat din po sila ng mapapagtaniman nila sa ibang lugar or minsan po gumagamit din sila ng mga bato or kahoy po para din po maano yung lupa. Pero hindi po siya naging efficient sa kanila kasi mabagal po yung naging yung pag-produce po nung sa mga fina-farm po nila.
Okay. So, ano yung bato? Hindi ko alam yung bato. What do you mean bato?
Stones po. Kahoy and stones po.
How before irrigation, they use stone tools for watering the plants?
Hindi po ma'am, 'pag ano po, kapag nagfa-farm po sila.
Okay. It's the farming itself. Okay. Kala ko yung, kasi the irrigation is actually, sabi nga ni Princess, is just, we will just deviate the path of the water from the river. So there is already a source of water po. So from the river going to their landfill. Okay. Before po, ang method po talaga, kung paano tayo nagdidileg, okay, ng plants, that is how they water their plants. Manually, they put it a jar, then they go to their farm, and then they water it. Yun nga lang, they cannot go near to the river. They cannot, not too near to the river kasi nga po merong flooding. So that is the bad thing in if you are going to plant near to the river, madaling masira yung plants mo because there are plants that are less water, kailangan yun nga, dry planting or mga mamimili ka ng mga goods na kailangan is less lang ba yung water or mga plants na more on water. That's why they go a little bit farther from the river, okay? And since napaka-inefficient, napaka-labor uh, i- labor intensive yung masyadong you are carrying a pot. So dati wala pang mga plastic pots so it's made of muds. Imagine that one. So their pot is made of mud. They travel it from the river going to the their farm, okay? So when the irrigation was invented, they just make or like based on the picture, kumuha lang po sila ng path, okay? So, or canal from the river going to their farm. And then this one, yun nga, the bad effect po nito, later on, nag-dry up po. Imagine so ito pong Mesopotamia, today, it is the Iraq-Iran place. So, before, that is called a fertile land. Okay, ang kanilang land is more on water. You can plant everything there. You can plant rice and wheat. So today, because of the overuse, okay, of irrigation, today it is now a desert. Imagine that one. Yung lugar dati na fertile land, na fertile crescent nga ang tawag niya sa Mesopotamia, na today it's already a desert. The Iraq-Iran is already a desert because of the overuse of the irrigation. So again, this is the bad usage ng technology in a one place. That's why today ang ating irrigation po is limited, okay? Hindi po siya lahat ng farmland kailangan mo yung gumawa ng canal going to the irrigation and until ma-dry out na yung river na source niyan, okay? So it's more on how efficient the farming should be. Pero dito, of course, without irrigation, even though without irrigation, there is still agriculture, okay? So ang kakabit po nito, one of the greatest invention in this period is the agriculture itself, the planting. So, through agriculture, naging self-sufficient po ang civilization started with the Sumerian, then later on with the help of irrigation and actually yung farming using the domestication, nagkaroon na po dito ng domestication ang mga ng animals that they can help for farming kasi before ang nagpa-plow ng kanilang land are human, okay? Mismo human. There are slaves already at that time, okay? So it's the human who plow their farm fields, and then later on it was replaced by animals when they started to domesticate. Okay, so domestication, and then later on, these domesticated animals help them for trading naman the goods. Okay, so mostly related po siya sa agriculture. So how to plant, how to irrigate, how to trade, and so on. So that's why yun, one of the greatest invention is actually the agriculture itself, then followed by this irrigation, domestication of animals. Napakadami po nito, okay, about that is related to irrigation. Okay? So, thank you, Flores. Let's go to Tumala. Teka, hanapin ko lang kay Tumala. Bakit hindi ko kay Tura lang nakikita ko. Yes, Tumala? Tumala, are you here?
Yes po, audible po, ma'am.
Teka lang, Tumala, hanapin ko yung sayo, ha?
Sige
Did
po,
I
alam ko
down?
po, ma'am, yung nasa ano po siya, unang link niyo po na Google Drive, dun po siya in-upload. Kasi po
Yes.
tinig ko po ngayon yung Google Drive, wala po dun yung sa akin.
Parang na-download ko siya nung una. Wait lang po, Alam niyo naman, teka, medyo hanapin natin sa iyo. Tumala. Let's type your, and that is activity number 2. Okay, so Tumala, that one. So one of the greatest invention din ang kay Tumala. Very good. Magaling kayo pumili ng mga greatest invention. Okay? So again, pag naskipan po ang inyong name, hindi po siya greatest invention. Okay? Thank you for that, kay Flores. So let's start with Tumala. Very good. Tumala, can you hear it? Can you see it?
Yes po.
Okay, let's start.
Okay po, so ang napili ko pong greatest invention is cuneiform, which is since ito po yung isa sa mga nag-change ng society and mas napadali po yung buhay nila. Simula po nung na-invent po nila to. So, cuneiform is invented and developed by Sumerians in Mesopotamia in 3500 BCE under the prehistoric age. So, cuneiform is an ancient Mesopotamian writing used in the Middle East. Gawa po siya sa clay and characterized by its wedge shape marks. So, cuneiform was invented primarily and as a medium for originally po for astronomical and astronomical data po. But then nag-improve siya and then nagamit na po siya sa record keeping and administrative purposes. It addresses the societal need ko nila na mag-document ng information such as tax records and transactions and was later used and ayun nga po sa astronomical data. And ang life po nila in their society bago po ma-invent yung cuneiform is nag-rely po sila sa kanilang oral communication and memory. And since hindi naman po lahat nabiyayaan ng memorization skills, so nahirapan sila na mag-record and makipag-communicate sa ibang tao and sa mga ibang lugar kung may nais man po silang malaman na information from other regions. So, nahirapan din po sila kung tama po ba yung amount na binibigay nilang money, pera, mga food and wealth po sa mga nagle-labor na nagtatrabaho. And also po, nahirapan din po sila mag-keep ng mga list po for government. So, since Mesopotamians po who valued bureaucracy, they used the cuneiforms po for documenting contracts and business deals. The invention po of writing the invention of writing in cuneiform po changed the society by providing a durable and medium for information and communication. If ever man po nagpapadala sila ng message sa region po ng iba, mas mapapadali na po siya since nagkaroon na po sila ng medium for information and messages po sa ibang lugar. So, na-improve din niya yung record keeping and distribution of wealth and goods po. And also, it represents one of the earliest forms of human writing, kaya naging important po siya sa era po nila. And also, naging foundation po ito ng civilization, wherein cuneiform is essential for establishing and maintaining legal systems, laws, contracts, and more po. Then, over time, dito na po nagkaroon yung invention, yung pinakamalaki pong invention which is literacy. So, over time, nag-emerge po yung cuneiform as a medium for great works of literature like the Epic of Gilgamesh po, yung Epic of Hammurabi, ayun din po.
Yes, the
And
early one.
yes po. And as well po as for poetry and letters. And also, yung mga naging disadvantage niya lang din po is yung difficulty. Since yung sa polyphony niya po and homophony, parang pictures and alphabets po nila noon is apakadami and mahirap po siyang isulat since nga po hindi naman po sila um, nakaka-memorize masyado since ayun po nahirapan po sila. So, hindi rin po lahat masyadong nakakasulat din po. So, it takes a lot of time na makabisado po nila yung way of writing nila. And also, one of the disadvantages din po is yung naging medium nila which is clay. Since pag natutuyo po yung clay, alam natin na mabigat siya buhatin. So, nahirapan din po sila dun. So, moving on today po, the cuneiform po is unfortunately not used anymore. So, hence it was replaced by the alphabetic writing system since cuneiform has been influenced by Greek, Babylonian, Assyrian, and other major writing systems and eventually po led to inspiring the alphabets used by us today po. That's all
Okay.
po.
Very good, Tumala. So, based on Tumala's discussion before cuneiform, actually, it's more on writing. So, Tumala started, the cuneiform is the first writing. So, the invention here is the writing. Ang pangalan lang po ng way of writing nito is cuneiform from the Sumerian that later on copied or parang ginaya, maybe sabi sa history, later on this was copied by the Egyptians. So for the Egyptian, ang tawag naman po nila is the hieroglyphics, okay? And for the next one, yung sa China civilization, yung Chinese civilization, their Chinese letters, okay? So all of this, itong cuneiform, hieroglyphics, and the Chinese characters are pictographs, okay? Hindi po siya katulad sa atin na phonics. Ang phonics po kasi is parang we will combine the sounds of the words to turn it into a word. Ang cuneiform hieroglyphics and Chinese letters, one character is representing one word. Okay? So for example, fish. So kailangan mo i-drawing yung fish or what is the symbol for fish? That's why since there are so many words uh, in the civilization, the 10,000 words, roughly 10,000 words po ang kailangang kabisaduhin ng isang estudyanteng nag-aaral ng cuneiform. And mostly, only, okay, halos mga genius lang po ang nakakapag-aral at nakakapag-aral before because they can have or they have the memory on how to memorize this one. And it take years. Imagine that one. For the education, after the development of the writing, sumunod na po yung education, followed by laws and so on. So, in the education part, every students have 7 years just to memorize all the characters for the cuneiform. And yung mga nakaka-access lang po nun is of course maliban sa kaya nila, kabisaduhin yung ito ay mga elite. Okay, so there are social classes already in this time. Now for the before the cuneiform, sabi nga ni Tumala, ang way of transferring of messages is through words. If you have a messenger, you have to say it mouth by mouth. Sasabihin mo sa kanya, as a messenger, he will travel and sasabihin niya doon sa gusto mong bigyan ng message. So, through mouth and mouth ang communication. So, oral communication. And then, nung early tribe ng mga Sumerian, when they have the Gilgamesh, itong mga early literatures is also transferred through stories, okay? Pero that again, they just tell stories to younger generation, and then this younger generation later on transferred to another generation. Ganun lang po, through oral communication, ang system without writing. Okay? So, without writing. So, the reason why it called civilization already, kasi po sa writing. So, maliban sa agriculture, which is the start of the civilization, writing also developed the way of life of the people. So, hindi na lang sila nakafocus when the writing was invented, hindi na lang po sila naka-focus on how to find food, how to protect themselves, and how to survive. So na doon po na-develop na ang other field of our system, okay? Nagkaroon na po at that time, nagkaroon na po sila ng government. Before, wala po silang government, okay? So again, before the constant source of food, ang meron lang po sila is how to protect themselves. That is their goal. How to feed their tribe, that is their goal, okay, or have to protect. When there is now a constant food, and then there is now a writing, doon na po nagkaroon ng literature, doon na po nagkaroon ng law. Yun nga lang, meron na po dong classes, because kinlas na po nila doon yung mga people who can write and who cannot write, people who are slaves and people who are not slaves. So nagkaroon na po ng social classes. So it's not only in the middle part ang slaves, kundi nasa early civilization po. So may mga laborers, because they cannot read and write, what they can do is just do manual work. And then there are these mga scholars who knows how to write. So mataas ang tingin ng civilization for those people who can write. Ang tawag po nga nila again ay scribes. Okay, so the early people based on the Sumerian, they call it as scribes. And these scribes later on go higher up, naging priestess or priest. So they are the right hand of their tribe leaders, which are later on sa mga pharaoh. Okay, ang tawag nila king and queens for the Sumerian, and pharaoh naman for the sa Egyptian. So, mga learned people po ang mga right-handed talaga ng mga king and queens or the tribe leaders at the time. Okay? So, this is how writing or the cuneiform, actually the writing po to writing. Okay? So, the writing na lagay ko dito. Baka kasi pagdating sa exam, hanapin niyo po yung cuneiform. Okay? It's this, the writing affect the society through different for example, for the government, for the social classes, in the different field okay? So, medyo hindi po siya related to the development of science, because literacy pa lang po, ang start pa lang po ng Sumerian. But later on, because of writing, doon na po na-develop yung curiosity ng people on what can they do, what are the philosophy. Later on sa Greece, papasok na po dito sina Socrates, sina Plato, and that is more on the philosophy. Okay? So without, siguro sa history natin, kung siguro hindi nagkaroon ng agriculture, hindi po ito madidevelop later on, because the agriculture is one of the basic needs of the people, which is food. Siguro kung wala to, wala rin pong susunod na development in that part. Okay? So this is how the history, the technology, and how invention folds and help the society to develop. So later on, makikita po natin step by step how it improves the life of the people from early people. Yun nga lang, hindi pa natin nababanggit ang early age, yung Stone Age. Okay? Very good, Tumala. Thank you for that. So, napakaikli lang ng explanation dito ni Tumala dito sa yung before, okay, Tumala, pero itong napakaikli na nung pangalawa Again, pero on point ang kanyang explanation. Very good on that. Pwede na ba nating balikan ang dalawa? Tura? Flores, yeah. Flores, Sylvain, yes. Did you uploaded na?
Okay na po kami po, ma'am.
Okay, let me
Napag-upload na
see.
po.
Nakapag-upload na po. Tingnan natin Hopefully, teka, I will just refresh. Hindi na po siya na-edit yung mga... Let's start with you, Sylvain. Ayun lang, Sylvain. Teka, tingnan natin if your classmate can read this. Okay. Can you... May lighter version po ba nito? Nababasa naman, no? Before... Okay, so let's start with you, Sylvain. Hindi ko lang mabasa na masyado yung part na to. Okay?
Hello po.
Mm.
So in the uh one of the greatest discoveries made by early humans, particularly the Homo erectus during the Stone Age, is the discovery of fire, which was able to shape both the survival and trajectory of our civilizations. Before the discovery of fire, people would rely on raw food and were limited to only daylight activities and little protection from predators and harsh weather conditions. After the discovery of fire, it was able to address these problems because fire was able to provide the warmth that led civilizations to go to colder climates, was able to light up their camps during the night, and provide safety from the predators and other threats. While these immediate benefits were apparent, there was also the added benefit of social interactions between communities due to the protection given by fire. And fire also lead the was able to evolve into other work such as metal work and energy production in the future. Uh, yun lang po, ma'am.
Okay, so wait lang. Nabanggit mo dito, anong mga purpose ng what is the purpose of fire? So here, so provide warm, of course, during different weather, lalo na sa cold weather, especially in the upper hemisphere, and also to means to cook food, which will enable them to survive, expansion into to not aside from the so when they know how to cook food, of course, na prolong yung kanilang life, yung mga babies nakaka-survive na because before ang mortality rate ng babies because they do not know how to cook food and to use fire, marami pong babies ang namamatay and napakaliit po ng population. When they learn how to cook, how to use fire, how to that is now the time that they increase their population. And then expansion into colder climates. So again, the reason why they are nomads, the early people, is because they travel from one place. Pag magwi-winter na po, so bababa sila, going to the near to the equator. And then pag magsa-summer naman, they will go up. So that's why they are also nomads. Para po silang mga um, animals, okay? So they migrate. If there it's very hot in this place, they go to cold places. If this is very cold, they go to hot places. So kung ano po yung characteristic ng animals, especially the birds and the fishes, ganun rin po ang human before, okay? So since we are now protected, we now have the means of protection against this different weather. So that is now the fire. You stay na. We can stay na in a place. Aside from that, increase, ano sabi dito, colder climates, increase the nutritional intake. Pero parang nabanggit um, ni Flores, aside from that, SFAR also protects them from predators, okay, from other tribes, from wild animals. So before the discovery earlier, so vulnerability, relying to raw food, limited daylight, little protection from the predator. So these are the major effect of actually controlling fire. So they discover it. Actually, hindi naman nila na-discover ang fire. So when the fire started, when the lightning hits the uh, one of the tree in the forest, okay, itong mga early people is very curious how it was created, okay? So because the lightning hit the tree, then it produced fire, okay? So nagtataka sila how to create that one. Also the sunlight, how it's very hot. So now, when they know how to learn how to produce fire, through stones, because this is through stone age and through the wood, okay, using the friction, doon na po nila nag-start yung how to control the fire, okay? So later on, it is now a great help for the civilization to survive. Again, in the stone age, ang pinaka-focus po ng stone age talaga is how to survive in these different events, okay, different problems in the Stone Age. Protection, food, and weather. Yan lang po, okay? So pag nakita nyo po yan sa prelim or during quiz, tatandaan nyo po itong in the prehistoric, okay? So what are the different problems, or mostly how these people survive in these three problems, okay? So that is the weather, for protection from predator, and of course how to find food, or how can they can live longer with constant source of food, okay? And then which later on solved by agriculture. Then when the agriculture was invented, doon na po sila nagstay, then doon na po sila nagkaroon ng stable na houses or shelter. Before, since palipat-lipat naman sila, lagi po silang sa cave lang pumupunta, okay? So they don't need to stay in one place. They don't find there's a need to find a stable place. So gumagawa lang po sila ng tent. So kung nakikita niyo sa mga movies, mga tent lang. Para siyang tent, there's a wood, and there is animal cloth that is covering their tent, and then that is where they stay. But later on, natuto na po silang gumamit ng bricks, muds, and so on. So kung meron po tayong history ng sa mga architecture ko, we have the history of architecture. That is how start yung shelters, okay? How they create shelters when they now learn how to stay in one place, okay? So thank you for that, Sylvain. Yun lang, di ko masyado mabasa itong ano mo ha, itong ating activity. But I think this is from a video. So very good. Okay, so let's have Tura. Tura, okay na po ba to? Tingnan natin.
Opo.
Na-edit pa rin Tura.
Ay, meron pong isang separate file po.
Separate, this one, resubmit. Okay, that one, di na nagbago. Okay, can you start,
po.
Tura?
Start po with introducing the invention that I specifically researched po, which is the stone tools po. The stone tools came from Paleolithic period or the Old Stone Age period po. It was discovered by Homo habilis from 3.3 million years ago. The stone tools purpose is for hunting po. All it was used for all of the daily lives po. Before the stone tools were invented po, the Homo habilis or the early humans only used what's available everywhere po. Just like wood po, they only use stick to dug dirt po. Use stones to bash. In
Ano,
most cases,
bash?
opo, yes po. Inaano po
Or
sila,
smash?
ano po, para parehas na rin po.
Okay.
Doon po nila na-discover yung stone tools po dahil po sa pag-bash and smash po nila ng stone, nag-sharpen po yung stone na yun at ginamit po nila yung mga natural resources po to create spears, to create an axe po. Ayun po, doon po nila ginamit yun, and it boosts them po so much for hunting, and it used for butchering animals po, and make their survival better po. The societal impact po ng stone tools is very big rin po. As you know, the modern version of our stone tools is the example po is axe, knives, and everything that is used for hunting po. Yan po.
So before stone tools, anong ginagawa nila ulit? Ginagamit nila wood.
Wood po, leaves, and other po na makikita po sa nature around them.
Actually, may bones din eh. Tama ba? Animal bones, minsan human bones. Nako. That are the tools of the early people that time. Okay?
Yes po.
Yes po. Are you done? That's it?
Ayun na po. Thank you po.
Oh, Okay, so there nabanggit ni kasi very general po yung kay Tura. So napakalawak. So Stone Age, sinawak na yan lahat ng mga tools, okay? So actually napakadami pong stone tools that are invented in this period. Yung nga lang nilahat lang po ni Tura na, okay? Generally stone tools. So there is as tools for cuttings, tool for hammers, tool for spear, tools for bow and arrow like that. So napakadami pong pinagamitan or the use of stone before, okay? So again, it started kung naglagay lang ng picture dito si Tura ng every tool that are made of stones at early period. Makikita nyo yung kanyang transformation from stone as a hammer, yung circle. Then later on, they try to shape it into different purposes for this one kasi is for spear yata to or as a knife, okay? Now, aside from hunting and butchering animals, they also make weapons out of stone tools, okay? So they like spear and bow and arrow, okay? In a bow and arrow, so they are also used for weapon, okay? Since nagkakaroon na nga po to ng different tribes from different places and people at that time are killing each other because they thought that masyado silang territorial ang mga early people. When they are hunting in one place, they don't like other tribes to hunt in that same place in a certain distance. Okay, once they discover that there are other people or other tribes hunting, so they go to they kill them. Okay, so ito pong mga spears or stone tools, they use it for the weapon. So aside from that, weapon also for the larger animals because the larger animals are very common at that time, okay? Kasi yung place nila mas marami pong animals compared to human and larger animals try to kill humans at that time. So they have the weapon. So here, ang stone tools po, ginagamit lang po siya hindi sa to dig, okay? Or to cut meat. They also use for cutting clothes. So hindi nabanggit dito but clothing is one of the important one of the greatest invention in the early period because without clothes there is nothing, okay? We cannot survive, okay? We cannot survive to the weather or the changes in the climate at that time, okay? So that is one of the siguro before yata nagkaroon ng uh, different invention, clothing and stone tools ang mga unang invention. Okay? So aside from cutting animal skin for their clothing, they also use it for ayun nga, weapons. Ano ba ba nasabi ko kanina? And so on. Okay? So nahuli po yung shelter ha. So ang shelter po is not really very important to them before because there are caves naman where they can stay. Okay? So, so scrape hides, clothing, and so on. So, to make shelter, woodworking, crafting, and tools for that. So, before, again, ayan, nabanggit na kanina, before, ang ginagamit po ay bones. So, mas common po because wood is very soft. They don't not know, actually, they do not know how to cut the trunk of the wood. So, ang ginagamit lang po nila is yung mga branches and they're very soft, okay? They cannot cut it a big trunk of uh, woods or trees. That's why they just use branch. So, ang pinaka-strong po before stone ay mga bones, okay? So, animal bones, human bones, they use it as a weapon. Now, when they learn how to shape the stone tools or the stone, yun na po, papasok na po dito ang mga different tools. Now, since hindi naman po very strong or napakahirap i-shape ang stone tools, okay, or stone, doon na po nagkaroon ng, di ko alam kung sino po, pero tapos na kasi natin yung period ni na Obierna, Flores, and Tumala, nagkaroon po ng early smelting. When they found out that there are stones or there are like sa smelting, alam niyo po ba yung smelting? Parang yung mga stone po, may mga nakadikit na bronze, okay? Or iron, or in some cases, that is copper. Kaya po nagkakaroon ng Bronze Age, Copper Age, and ng Iron Age because they try to shape or create a tool made of these different metals. Okay, so yun nga lang. So from stone, they look for different material that are stronger compared to stone, easy or flexible compared to stone. Okay, because stone cannot be shaped that well. So pumasok na po yung Bronze Age. Okay, and then later on it was replaced by copper, and then later on it's replaced by iron. So because they looking naman for a stronger type of metal. So ito po yung evolution why there are different metals that is uh, said in the prehistoric period. Okay, so thank you for that, Tura. So after that one, so after we're done with this, we will go to Fernando. So Fernando, teka lang, hanapin lang natin kay Fernando ha. Fernando, ita-type na natin, hindi ko nahanapin sa... Teka lang. Ang daming lumabas. Fernando po Jr. Ako saan kaya to si Fernando? Ferranculio pala, sorry. Ferranculio? Ferranculio. Parang ano na to si Ferranculio, did you, no. Apad at yan sa auditor, no, hindi pa. Teka, Ferranculio. Ano ba spelling ng Ferranculio? Why I cannot see? Ferranculio, did you submit?
Yes po, ma'am.
Nasa ang folder? Dito po ba sa bago?
Opo, sa bago po.
That's why. Okay. Doon pala sa bago. So, let's start. Let's find it there. Ferranculio. Kala ko doon sa old. Okay, so here, tapos na po tayo sa, we are now starting to go to Iron Age. Okay, Ferranculio, can start.
Okay. Rinig po ako, ma'am.
Yes po.
Okay. So, ang napili ko po, ma'am, na discovery or invention during the prehistoric period of Iron Age po is the iron weapon. So, according po sa research ko po, ma'am, ay wala pong specific person or tao na nakapag-discover ng iron weapon, pero po merong civilization na tinatawag na Hittites, which it is an ancient group po of Indo-Europeans, and they were recognized po as the pioneers po of the Iron Age and began manufacturing iron artifacts around 1400 BCE. And they created this iron and steel tools and weapons because it is more efficient po during that time and than those made of bronze po. So marami pong theories na nag-exist on how the Hittites po or Hittites po na na-develop yung technology nito. Kaya some scholar po na naniwala po sila na ang mga Hittites po ay nag-develop na po or nag-experiment na po sila ng metalworking for years na, and nag-lead po ito sa kanila sa pag-discover nung tinatawag niyo po kanina na smelting, which ito po yung smelting po is yung sabi niyo po na during po yung time na to, yung smelting po is yung minimelt po nila yung irons at higher temperature than other metals like copper or tin. So the purpose po nung iron weapon ay create po to make a stronger, sharper, and more durable tools po for tools and arms po for farming, hunting, and warfare. So the social impact po, kasi po before po ng Iron Age, people po ay nagre-rely more on sila sa mga weapons na gawa sa stone or bronze po, which were weaker, less durable, and expensive to produce. Kung bakit po expensive?
Okay, point out natin yun. Teka, Ferranculio. The bronze, actually copper then, they are weaker.
Or less durable and expensive to produce po.
Very good. Okay, so tatandaan nyo po So this is, may isang question po doon sa prelim. Why we have to, what are the reason why there is an Iron Age? Okay, so because the early tools, they are weak, expensive, difficult to find. Okay, yung difficult to find. Okay, so continue, Francolio.
Okay. So, kasi nga po, so expensive to produce nga po siya kasi po during this period po yung ibang tao po ay iniisip po na yung iron po ay was inferior to other metals, especially po yung bronze kasi nga po dati po yung iron po ay difficult to work with and softer or more brittle po siya and less durable in its initial form po. So bronze po, an alloy of copper and tin, was easier to cast and shape. It melts at a low temperature po, and gaya nga po nasabi ko kanina, yung iron po ay kinakailangan po ng high temperature and more complex techniques to produce a strong workable metal like steel. So that's why societies po in this period had limited farming efficiency, weaker armies and smaller settlements because of these materials. So the transition from bronze to iron was influenced by shortages in tin and copper kasi nga po during that time yung tin po ay na rare lang po siya at mas nakikita lang po siya sa malalayong lugar, and yun nga po since nag-shortage po sila sa tin and copper, parang na-push po yung mga societies to experiment with more abundant iron despite its initial inferiority. So over time po, dahil po sa technological advances, nag-add po ng mga carbon to ng carbon sa iron to make steel-made iron tools and weapons stronger, cheaper, and easier to maintain. So the introduction po of iron weapons made armies more powerful, farming tools stronger, and daily survival po easier. It transformed societies by giving certain groups military and economic advantages, leading to the rise of powerful empires. So the modern device naman po na is originated from this historical invention po is the steel weapons and the military firearms. That's all lang po.
Very good, Ferranculio. So I will not add that anymore because nabanggit na ni Ferranculio ang advantage and disadvantage why we have to shift from stone, bronze, copper to the Iron Age. And then how it changed the agriculture, kung nakikinig lang po tayo, how it changed the agriculture and the weaponry of the early period that time. Okay? Actually, itong iron medyo mas sa Middle Age, kung papasok po to sa Middle Age, doon sa part na yun, halos every civilization is now starting in the iron weapons, iron tools. While yung mga copper, bronze, they use it na as ornament na lang, okay? Because aside from sinabi nga ni Franculio, it's very rare. May mga places lang po you can find bronze and copper or tin, and then it's very expensive, okay? So pag nag-acquire sila, it's not really for the whole soldiers or the whole platoon to have a weapon made of copper or made of bronze. So napakahirap po gumawa ng ganun. That's why when they mix some carbon to iron, to pure iron, they now more easier to form and more stronger. Okay, hindi na siya brittle. Kasi ang pure iron po is brittle. Okay, very good for Ranculio. Yan, medyo na gumagaling na naman ang ating mga presenter. Very good. Let's go to, we will skip for Nang, di ba? Teka, anuhin ko lang yung kay Nang ha, hanapin ko lang. Naku, saan ba si Nang? O si Tubo na lang muna tayo. Tubo, saan ko po mahanap ang iyong activity? Is it sa una o sa pangalawa?
Sa
Di ko
una po,
mahanap.
ma'am.
O sa una, wait lang. So let's find your activity. Tubo. Hindi natin makita ang what's the name? Tabo. Sorry na. Tabo pala. It's tabo. Sorry na. Ayun. Okay. Quenching. Naku. Okay, so I think, but this is not not, sige, let's Tabo explain this one. Why I cannot say this is one of the, tingnan natin kung ano yung societal impact nito, okay? So Tabo, I will give you the floor.
So my topic for the prehistoric Iron Age is quenching, which was which was approximately around 1200 BC. So before the discovery of quenching, bronze was the dominant material because it was easier to cast despite being weaker than iron. Before its discovery, iron was soft, brittle, and unreliable. Then the following years, blacksmiths relied on trial and error to strengthen iron's durability and use. Since quenching is one of the
Tabo, what
oldest
is
process.
quenching?
Quenching po, i-explain ko pa lang po. So quenching is it involves heating metal to high temperatures and then cooling it rapidly in water or oil or any other media to increase its hardness.
Oh, well, this is like partner ng smelting.
Yes po.
Oh, okay. So you choose quenching. Okay. Dapat smelting na lang. Okay, sige. Continue.
So, for a thousand of years, this simple technique has shaped the tools, weapons, and industries of human civilization. The practice of punching dates back to the Iron Age around 1200 BC when the smiths in Anatolia and the Middle East discovered that plunging hot iron into water produced a harder and sharper blades. Biblical text also mentions early blacksmiths like Tubal Cain, emphasizing how deeply metallurgy was tied to early society. As ironworking spread, different cultures refined quenching. In China during the Han Dynasty, clay-coated quenching controlled cooling rates to balance hardness and toughness, while in Japan, swordsmiths perfected differential quenching, coating parts of the blade in clay to slow the cooling on the spine while hardening the edge, producing the kana's iconic curve and distinctive Hammond pattern. While in the Islamic world, quenching was part of producing legendary Damascus steel, prized for its sharpness and durability. Scholars like Al-Biruni in the 11th century recorded recipes for quenching solutions made of clay, dung, and salts. In medieval Europe, quenching became central to blacksmithing, applied not only to weapons and armor but also to farming tools that supported everyday life. Until the Renaissance, quenching was guided mostly by tradition, secrecy, and superstition. The 12th century writer Theophilus Preister even suggested that quenching blades in animal urine by the 16th century, systematic records began to appear, such as the Von Stahel und Eisen in the 1532 and the Agricolas de Metallica in 1556, which described quenching methods in detail. These works marked the beginning of a more scientific approach to the underlying transformations inside the metal, were still not understood. So in the 19th century, metallurgy advanced into a true science where researchers like Henry Lee Chatler studied the transformations of steel during the heating and cooling, leading to the development of the iron carbon diagram and the discovery of martensite, the hard structure formed by rapid quenching. Modern experiments also have since tested quenching methods such as blood, beer, even urine, and found them ineffective compared to the water and oil method. From Iron Age blacksmiths to today's metallurgists, quenching has been essential to human progress. It transformed tools, weapons, and industries across cultures and centuries, evolving from a mysterious craft into a precisely controlled scientific process.
Okay, so very specific lang yung quenching, but this is part of the process of blacksmithing. Okay, so it's part of the quenching. Now, medyo mahaba yung binanggit ni Tabo about the history of quenching and what are the purposes of this. But if you will go to general, magkakamag-anak po to kanina. So, yung iron weapon na nabanggit, the fire, and hindi nyo nabanggit kasi yung other sa bronze tools naman. Okay, so again, kung i-group po natin to, this is more on shaping, making tools for farming, for producing food. Dito may ornament na. Dito nabanggit din ni Taboy na this is also for definition like that. Okay, so mostly parang ang unang part na nabanggit ni Tabo is more on how to shape weapons, especially the sword. Okay, yung sword po kasi is the main when the fire or the gun was not yet invented. Sword is the main weapon of the people or early people, especially in the later part na ng civilization. That is their main tool. So it is made of iron. Okay, so made of iron, but a sword, and it was created through quenching. Okay, so that one. Okay, so let's thank you for that. Let's go to another after this one. Espinosa, tama ba? Anong
Ma'am,
period na
am I audible po?
Yes po. Espinosa, saan ka po nag-submit? Are you in the new or old?
Sa old po ata.
Sa old po ata. Okay, tingnan natin. Let me see. Espinosa. Espinosa. Ako, napakadami Espinosa. Okay, wait. This one. Okay. Okay, let's start.
So, ang napili ko pong invention is one of the greatest milestones po in human history, which is the earliest urban centers po, or also called the cities po. These cities began during the ancient period, especially in Mesopotamia around 4000 BC po, when the Sumerians developed it. So yung purpose po is early cities, and even po yung mga modern cities po natin serve as centers for agriculture, economic activity, organized religion, political administration, and defense. They also provided centralized places for storing surplus food, supporting specialized labor, and establishing a social hierarchy. So, in other words po, yung cities po is it's not just about po sa physical buildings po. It's also about the people po na nagtutulungan po in a larger, more organized communities. And dahil po dito, the cities became the heart of civilization where knowledge, culture, and governance could grow simultaneously. So, for the social impacts naman po, um, for the first one po is cultural exchange. Cities brought people from different backgrounds together, allowing ideas, traditions, and beliefs to be shared. Second, economic opportunities. With more jobs, businesses, and career options, cities became attractive places for people seeking for better lives. And lastly, spread of technology. Cities allowed faster sharing of new technologies and innovation, leading to advancement that shape the world we live in today. So, before po yung cities, yung Sumerians po is nakatira po sila sa village, which is in a way po similar po sa cities, but a lot smaller po, and yung mga tao po sa villages po is um hindi po siya na masyado po nagpapapasok po ng ibang groups po or outsiders. So, to sum up po yung the invention of cities by the Sumerians po, um, it was about building a foundation po for civilization itself. Without cities po, I think po na hindi po tayo magkakaroon po ng steady progress po in culture, technology, and society that we enjoy today. Ayun lang po.
Okay, Espinosa, actually, if we are, I'm going to ask you, kasi sabi
Sige
ko,
po.
greatest invention or discovery. So, in what part ko siya ilalagay? Is it more on discovery or invention ang cities?
Sa invention po siya, ma'am.
Okay, what is invented there?
Kasi nga po, dati po kasi, before po nga yung cities po, is yung Sumerians po is nakatira lang po sila sa mga villages po. Which is nag-lock po sila ng storage po and for general defense po against po sa mga threats na present po sa kung saan po sila nakatira.
So it is a technology when they build a wall around them. So kung sa architecture po ito, it's a system of how you build houses and so on. Okay? So before, alam niyo po ba ang mga door ng mga houses ng early Sumerian ay nasa bubong. Okay? So there is a ladder Hindi ko kasi mapakita yung picture. So, if based on this picture, nandito po yung may house, kunwari ito yung house po nila, then this is closed. Kaya po, kung nakikita po niyo po yung mga houses sa panahon ni Jesus, is full of bricks, totally closed. At yung window po nila is halos wala, okay? And yung door po nila is halos nasa bubong because of course that is to protect themselves from enemies. And yung ladder po, may ladder po before you can go up. That ladder, they will remove it at night when everyone was already in. Okay, then may mga floors naman po. So if we will talk about the architecture side of this is more on technology, okay? So this is architecture. Hindi po siya particular na katulad ng mga classmate mong nabanggit na mga objects or technologies. So this is more on the architecture side, okay? So how to create more on shelters or kumpulan ng mga buildings and organization in one place. So yeah. Okay, so that is part of that. Okay, thank you, Espinosa. So this is cities, but yeah, more on architecture po kasi to very specific again. Okay, so yung quenching is a very specific one. Cities is also very specific. Okay, so this is more on shelter. Okay, so let's go to Nario. Let's go Nario. Nario, ikaw po ba ay nasa old or new
Nasa new
folder?
po.
Sa new,
Nasa new
okay,
folder po.
Pag nasa new folder, I have to go to this one. Teka. Nario. Ayun, this one. Let me share. Wala tayong ma-share. Download. Download anyway. Laki ng, kaya pala, laki ng kay Nario. It's 101. Mapupuno na talaga ang drive ko. Oops. Nario. This one is not. Okay. So I will skip Nario ha. Nario, we will skip yours. Okay. So, kasi yung kay Nario is cartography. Okay. So, let's go to San Diego. San Diego, saan po ang iyo? We will skip na yung mga ano ha. San
Sa old
Diego.
yung akin.
Sa old po. Okay. Okay. Is it one name? Teka. Magkahiwalay po ba yung San Diego?
Yes po, magkahiwalay po.
Okay, so this one is submarine. Okay, ito very specific din. Ako, sige. Okay. Very specific na itong mga share ng classmates nyo. Okay, let's start with, tingnan natin. This is more on, math. Okay, can we start?
Yes po. The invention that I chose po is the sexagemal system. It is a number system based on number 60. The period po is ancient period in Mesopotamian civilization, and the inventors are the Sumerians. Excuse me for the typo po. Sumerian is spelled as with single M rather than double M. They developed the system out of practical need for a number system suited for economic activities. Because what they used before the system po is tally marks, or they marks on bones or using stones to represent quantities. Therefore, they struggled with complex record keeping and large number for their trade and taxations. It is used as a way of counting and measuring based on the number 60. For its societal impact po, it made calculations more straightforward and less prone to error. Measuring time became possible by dividing a day into 12 hours of light and 12 hours of night, further dividing into 60 minutes an hour and 60 seconds per minute. So before po kasi yung workers nila, they work from day to night without specific time.
So, nung na-discover or na-develop nila yung sexagemal system, nagkaroon na po sila ng certain times or hindi na siya umaabot hanggang gabi yung mga workers po na nagtatrabaho. Recording daily and long-term activities for farm and trade products as well as for distribution became easier. Primarily, they uses the sexagemal system for its mathematical advantages, such as for knowing time, record keeping for their financial transaction in farm and trading, as well as distribution of goods, dividing a circle and dividing land. For the modern version po, clock on how we tell time, and for measuring angles. Yun lang po. Thank you.
San Diego, what is the system before sexagemal? Ano pong
Based
system?
po sa nabasa ko po, wala po silang ginagamit na system. They uses tally marks po in bones or sa stones
Tie,
sila po.
parang magta-tie sila yung 1, 2, 3, 4, then
Opo,
slash.
tally lang po.
Tally marks. Okay. So why they choose 60?
They chose 60 po because it is convenient for division. It has many divisor and it is the smallest number to be divisible by 1 to 6 po.
Very good. Then, actually, meron pa rin po itong mga connection on divination, their gods. But again, this starts with the dividing the whole circle, okay? So in the whole circle, they see that they can divide it. Once they cut the circle later on, ang pinaka-convenient po, they can easily divide it by 60, okay? Then later on, ang mga since it's easier and mas maraming divisor, later on, they use 12. And then, naniniwala rin po sila that 12 is a lucky number. May mga ganon as in astrology. Okay, this is not astronomy ha. So, they also use this one in astrology in which nagkaroon po sila mga zodiac sign, lahat, yung kanilang mga year or time, it depends also on 12. Okay, the year of the rooster and so the hour of the rooster, hour of the pig. So yun po yung mga pangalan ng kanilang time before. Hindi po siya katulad ng 12:30. It's not like that. Okay? So ang time po nila is by animal. Okay? So may hour of ox, hour of kung ano yung mga zodiac sign natin ngayon. So that one. Now, what is so hindi kasi nabanggit dito ni San Diego, what is the life before dito sa kanyang activity, pero nabanggit niya, okay? Nabanggit niya dito lang sa activity, what is the life before without sexagemal system? Yun nga, magulo po ang counting. So when the tally marks, kung yung tally marks po yung pag-uusapan natin, it has no system at all, okay? Hindi po siya nagko-coincide in their day, in their night, and then kung makikita niyo po yung early calendar, makikita niyo po yung sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. And then pag bumalik po siya dun sa shape ng moon, kasi may picture teka, let me let me share that one. Supposedly dun po na yan ito yung sa end ng ating talk, but I will share to you the early calendar kung paano po nagka-count ang people. That's why they have the the 60 count ng 60. Let me share that one. Where's the calendar? That one, this one. Okay, so here, if you will go to the early calendar, so kung if you will count, okay, so tinitrace po ng early people yung shape ng moon, okay, and also the sun, actually, the shape of the moon here, and then this is the sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, and sunrise. Then later on, they found out that the easiest number to divide the day, so through the sunrise, sunset, and the shape of the moon is by 12 and by 60. So, ang pinaka-convenient ay yung 60 sa kanila. That's why hindi po to by 10. Hindi po yung oras natin is 10 hours because it depends to the early discovery or the early ano ba 'to, recording of the early people of the sunrise, sunset, and the shape of the moon. Yan, sinusulat pa nila dito or dino-draw pa nila what will be the phase of the moon during the day, then how many sunset, sunrise it takes to return to the same shape of the moon. Okay? That's why it's 60. So that is the importance. This is the early calendar, by the way, and how month starts at this period, how they record. Yan. So thank you for that, San Diego. Let's go to Urbano. Urbano, saan ko po makikita ang iyong um,
Hello po,
data?
ma'am. Sa old po, ma'am.
Sa old po. Okay, Urban. Kasi pag sa old, itatype ko lang. Pag sa new, i-share ko yung okay, parang okay, sabi ko na nga may nabanggit na akong okay, let's see the importance of Urbanos. Yan, okay. You can start, Urbano.
So, good day, everyone. Today, I'll be sharing one of the greatest inventions in history, which is the brick po. So, during the ancient period, specifically the Mesopotamian civilization around 4000 BC, bricks were first developed po. So, dati po, ang ginagamit lang po ng tao is clay and reeds lang po, which is not a very good foundation po para sa mga buildings nila. Kasi isang bagyo lang po, isang baha lang po is nadadamage na po and minsan nasisira na po. Yun po. So, the
And then
purpose
again,
of the
clay
and reeds po.
okay, so this is a combination of clay and rigs. The early, parang hollow blocks nila ha. Kung ngayon, hollow blocks, tama ba? This is the
Opo.
modern version. Okay. Clay and rigs.
So, the
Okay,
purpose of bricks po was very simple pero importante siya. Kasi bricks serve as a stronger building material compared nga po dun sa muds and reeds which were used before. With bricks po, they were able to construct more durable houses, temples, and city walls that could withstand time and weather. And since hindi po masyado available yung stone and wood po kasi since low on ano po sila resources, bricks po yung naging main solution for buildings. Now let's move on po sa social impact. So, the social impact po ng bricks is ano po, change how people live. So firstly po, they help build larger cities since construction became scalable and more organized. Ziggurats and temples made of bricks became centers of religion and community life. Dito mo nila ginagawa yung mga cultural beliefs nila in sa religions po. And bricks were even stamped with kings' names. So dati po, ano po, parang ini-stamp po ng mga Sumerians yung bricks po with their kings' names, which serve as a record of their leadership and power. And lastly po, because bricks could be mass produced po, cities expanded much faster and support urban growth po. And for the
Okay.
modern version
Or-
naman po, is we still use the same idea today po. Instead of mud bricks, we use now po fired clay bricks, cement blocks, and concrete, which is much stronger po sa bricks dati nung Mesopotamian period. And ito pa rin po yung ginagamit natin for building today. So to sum it up po, the inventions of bricks wasn't just about making stronger walls. It shaped cities, communities, and even leaderships. And it's one of those simple inventions that literally became the building blocks of the civilization. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. So again, this is very specific for architecture na naman, bricks. So in early days, so sabi nga ni Urbano, ang ginagamit po nilang system is, 'di ba, may clay. So since in Mesopotamia, halos clay po yung kanilang land. Okay, so what they did, they crumpled the clay, then the twigs, okay, parang siyang, alam niyo sa wheat, yung mga natitira pag tinanggal niyo po yung wheat or yung mga rice, then they mix it, then yun, patatapal nila until such time they create an igloo or a wall and so on. So, ganun po ang kanilang way of structure. Then, yung bricks, saan po gawa yung bricks? In early Sumerian, Urbano, what material is it made of?
It's made of ano po, clay po.
Clay. So this is hindi po siya ng mud and twigs. Clay and mix.
Clay and ano po, mixed with
Parang may mini mix. Oo.
opo, ay ano po, parang grava po ata yun.
Parang pebbles, parang ganun. Parang may mini
Yes po,
mix pa
pebbles.
sila. Yeah, pebbles. Since they now found that clay is hindi na siya nape-penetrate ng water, it's also less na-erode kasi pag mud po and twigs na-erode din po later on, so it's not structurally stable, and then pag nagkaroon ng rain, nawawash out din po if it's made of mud. So with the bricks, of course, yung nakikita nyo pong mga early kanina, yung mga shinare na ni Espinosa, it's made of bricks, okay? So, and then bricks also is less, it's cooler compared to mud. So, may mga material po na heat resistant. So if even though for example you are already in the, 'di ba sabi ko kanina para siyang square yung bahay, yung early house ng early Sumerian, square po siya at yung bubong ay nasa tuktok at halos walang window. Even though it's like that, okay, much cooler po siya, okay, because of the material. So that is for bricks. But yun nga lang pagdating ng summer napaka-init naman niya, pero pagdating naman ng cold days hindi naman siya ganun kainit, okay? Because of the type of material. So, yeah. Now, this is more on architecture again, okay? So, that is for the bricks. Now, since we have few minutes, we will let Nario present. Ano po ba yung cartography? Yeah, para mabigyan ko, para hindi ko napapanoorin yung kay Nario. Nario, are you in the old or asan? Nakita ko na yung sa'yo eh.
Sanyo po.
Sa inyo po, okay. So, para hindi ko napapanoorin mag-isa and wait lang po, ito pala yun. Yeah. Okay, this is almost the same kasi kanina ng, pero this is have a different purpose. Parang cuneiform siya, pero let's see kung anong purpose po ng ating cartography. Okay, Nario?
Okay po. So, the earliest known map po was the Imago Mundi, or the Babylonian map of the world, created by the Babylonians themselves po in the 600 BC. So, this map po was created as an attempt po to create a picture of the world po, of their own region and of distant lands, in the own eyes po or perspective ng mga Babylonians, in which they use symbols po like circles as the cities, lines po for the river, and they use triangles po for the water, since that was how it was visualized when they approach water. And so before the map po was created, the people only relied po sa local knowledge, like yung mga near lang po na village, na river, and land lang po. And yung information po about the faraway places was only passed through stories, trades, and travels po. And most people understood the world po in a mythological and religious way, and not geographically. And so ayun po, the map was served as a visual representation of the significant locations po around their areas, such as the major cities, the river, the mountains, and the sea. Yun po.
The world and the heaven. Actually, kasama pa doon, di ba parang nire-represent nila that the sky, that there is hemisphere here, okay, that beyond this hemisphere there is heaven, beyond this of this sphere there is heaven of heavens. Actually madidiscuss na po natin po to sa module 3, okay, yung cartography. It's more on map, pero hindi now we don't have this type of map, pero yung early map of astrology, this is astrology so kung mapapansin nyo, binabanggit ko or I differentiate, the astronomy is the science of heavenly bodies. Astrology, they connote it or they relate it to gods, okay? And astrology po ang mas dominant in the Sumerian or Mesopotamian civilization. So, here, if in your activity, Nario, again, you didn't said what is life before, so without cartography, and then how it changed the lives of the people. So aside from mapping, because most of the society doesn't know how to read the map. So mostly ito po ay ang nakaka-read po nito katulad ng cuneiform ay mga scribes din. And then the early astronomers, they are the one who created this one because they are the one who observe the sky. Okay? That's why hindi po siya talaga kasama sa greatest invention in the history. Okay? Especially in the world history. Pag malawak po yung ating what will be the effect in the whole society. Okay? So it's already 1:58. We will continue. Hopefully we can finish the other sharing. So again, we will skip the people who already shared last time. So even though it's very important yung um, kanilang activity, but we will share it na lang during the summary na lang at the end. Okay? So for now, until dito muna po tayo, we will continue to the Chinese civilization and hopefully we can finish. Ito pong module 2 ay napakahaba. Okay? Kaya pagdating po ng exam, actually napakadami po nitong mga very specific. So pino-point out ko po kanina yung mga very the most important invention and discoveries in our period, in different period, and how it changed the society. So what is the problem? So ito po yung pattern. What is the problem in that period? How this invention or discovery solved that problem? And then later on, how society changed their life through this invention. Okay? So sa isang period, may mga certain problems lang po. For example, in early period, hindi naman sila problema sa calendar or how they count, lalo na sa mga prehistoric. So it's not their problem at that time. Okay, then later on ngayon, ang problem na po natin is of course the AI or how to create modern technologies that can understand the world or the different problems in sky. Okay, so napakadami na ngayon sa 21st century. So hindi na tayo mamimili kasi everything here in the 21st century, hindi na natin ma-weigh in kung sino po yung pinaka greatest discovery until such time na nalagay po siya as one of the Nobel Prize. Okay? So sila po yung nagdi-dictate the Nobel Prize ko dun sa mga later on once we discuss it, why it was awarded as one of the Nobel Prize winners and what is the impact of that to the society or to science. Okay? So it's already 2 eksakto. End na po ang ating klase. We will just meet again next meeting. And Ekizabal, gano'n na naman po ba uli? Ang ating is already 12. Tama po ba?
Yes po. Kaso po ma'am, may concern po kami regarding next week.
Yes po.
Bukod po dun sa rally na baka mag-cause ng suspension, may ano rin po kasi kami, supposed to be po is scheduled po ng aming long test kay Sir Efren is ano po, next week din po. So face-to-face din po kami sa kanya. And then yung first class din po na
Oh.
face-to-face.
So face-to-face tayo next week. Ganun na lang. Okay? So magpe-face-to-face discussion po tayo next week. If you are face-to-face sa susunod na subject and another one is face-to-face, so we will have face-to-face classes. And definitely, magpe-face-to-face din po tayo yata. Kung hindi natin matapos next week, kung matatapos natin next week, face-to-face po ang ating prelim on week 7. Face-to-face po tayo next week, okay? So yun lang ba, Ikizabal? So we will have face-to-face. Okay, so that's it. So pag may concern, padaanin nyo muna kay Ekizabal, then I will try to answer that one using Ekizabal. Okay, so siya na lang mag-a-announce. Any more concern? Okay, yung mga, okay, sige, Halili.
Ma'am, yung kanina
Yes po, ma'am. Pag yung mga kaninang attendance, ang proof natin po is yung Excel. Okay? We will just wait for the Excel to download. Okay po, don't worry. Everything is recorded here maliban sa discussion natin. Okay, kasi hindi na nare-record po itong MS Team. Okay, bye-bye and see you face to face po tayo next week. Do not be late. So we will have So start tayo ng 11 talaga, 11 to 2. So matatapos natin 'yan, okay? So bye-bye. I will now end the meeting. Bye-bye po.